Hello, everyone. My name again is Abiodun Idin. Um, Another story that I have um, is this one is very touching. Thank you, before I go too far, for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for liking it, and thank you to those ones that are sending their stories in. I cannot but respect you enough that you could let the world know what you are going through or what you have been through. Um, it is very the only way people can learn is to learn from other people's experiences, and the best form of learning is actually through experience. And I want to really appreciate those that are sending in their stories, that those that believe in this channel and believe that the world should hear their story, even if they cannot come in person, that you're sending it to me, letting the world know is I respect you for this. Don't want to take too much time. This platform, of course, we explore challenges and even abuses that men face in their marriage, and even women. Stories that have not been heard of, stories that are hidden, and then that the world can learn from. The story we'll be speaking about today is it happened to the story was sent to me by someone from the United Kingdom. This is a 62 years old man. He's a 62 years old man. He sent it to me from the United Kingdom, and when I read the story, I think I need to bring it on. Yeah, I need to bring it on. The story goes this way. He even gave me his name. His name is Adebola. He said, "My name is Adebola and I am from the United Kingdom. I came across your YouTube channel and I wanted to thank you, for the great work you're doing. May God continue to uphold and bless you and give you, as you give people like me, voice. I also pray this channel continues to grow in leaps and bounds. Amen." He said, "I am 62 years old as at June 2024, and in quote, I have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy." He said, he wrote it in quotes. "My ex-wife is a nurse working with the NHS. That's the NHS is a popular medical facility or organization in the United Kingdom. It's for the country. I came to the UK in 1985, about 29 years ago, when I was just 26 years old, to pursue a master's degree in pharmacy, having earned a bachelor's degree in biochemistry from the University of Lagos, Nigeria, in the year 1983. Woo, I was very young. After completing the compulsory National Youth Service, I immediately relocated to the UK for my postgraduate studies. While at the University of Lagos, I dated a wonderful lady whose name I won't mention. We had a great relationship throughout my time at the university. However, we lost touch after being posted to, different locations for our National Youth Service. Like I said in the previous video, a National Youth Service in Nigeria is a time when individuals, graduates from higher institutions, will go and serve their fatherland. Will go and do something that looks like a military service. You will serve the country for 12 months in a place that is different from a place of origin and a place of study. They will send you to a place different from these 2 places. So he went for his National Youth Service, So we lost touch after being posted to different locations for National Youth Service. For those unfamiliar with what is called National Youth Service in Nigeria is a compulsory program where graduates are posted to regions outside their place of birth and study to serve the nation similar to the form of military or civil service time or for young and freshly graduated graduates to serve their motherland, Nigeria. This separation marked the end of our relationship. So they got separated by this compulsory service to motherland. This happened to a lot of people. Once they date in the university or whatever school they go to, by the time they are posted elsewhere, people get to meet other people, get to fall in love with other people. So this happened to this brother. They were separated. Years later, thanks to Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, she searched for me and we reconnected after over 5 years apart. So Facebook has done quite a lot, for a lot of us also, because persons like me too, I get to reconnect with a lot of lost friends that that I've gone to school with, and I don't know where they are, but today we still talk on Facebook. So Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, she searched for me and we reconnected after 5 years apart. By this time, she was working with a prominent bank in Nigeria, while I had completed my master's degree and I was working with a major pharmaceutical company in the UK. We rekindled our relationship, and after a long time, that's about 6 months of catching up, we planned to get married. So they met on Facebook, then, boy meets girl all over again. They rekindled all those good days in the universities, and, they decided to, consummate it and be married. Of course, brother is already doing well in the UK. The sister is also doing well in Nigeria. So it's not a bad thing to be together. I had already regularized my immigration status in the UK. It was then easy to start facilitating or processing our visa application for relocation. We spent vacations together regardless while waiting for the fiancé visa approval. So while they were waiting for the fiancé visa approval, they were always having holidays together, often spending at least 3 weeks in a year together, aside the series of video calls and daily calls. The relationship blossomed and we really enjoyed our rekindled affair. It was more like our days back in the University of Lagos, Nigeria. So they both went to the same school, but I think the brother was, some 1 or 2 years ahead of her. Eventually, our spousal visa was granted and she relocated to the UK with me after we had completed both traditional and legal marriage ceremonies. So they did everything in Nigeria, the traditional and the legal marriage ceremonies in Nigeria. A few months later, she informed me she was pregnant. I was overjoyed, as that's the joy of, marriage. Normally, it's a cultural thing in Nigeria that once you're married, the first thing that families expect is that both of you, are going to do this thing quickly and, bring babies, bring children. Parents want to see their grandkids. So it's a cultural thing in Nigeria, and I think it's a cultural thing in most parts of Africa to, the next thing is to get pregnant. Our son was born, and I was thankful for this blessing. As we settled deeper into family life, we discussed our career aspirations. Like many women, she chose nursing because of its job security and rewarding opportunities. Unfortunately, our decision to pursue a nursing degree marked the beginning of our marital challenges. She earned a bachelor's degree in nursing and proceeded immediately to pursue a master's, which is good. I think it is beautiful. We agreed to pause having more children until she completes her education. However, she unexpectedly became pregnant again. I supported her throughout the pregnancy period and birth, though it wasn't part of our initial plan. She later gave birth to our second child, a baby girl. So apparently she was going to school, then she all of a sudden got pregnant, and it wasn't planned. It wasn't what they planned, because their plan was that she should complete her education. So now she's pregnant. She gave birth to another child, which is a baby girl. Don't forget that apparently she was pregnant during the wedding. So a few months down the line, when they got to the UK, she delivered a baby girl, a baby boy. It was after this that I noticed significant changes in her behavior. She began taking phone calls and messages privately, often rushing to the bathroom or anywhere not close to where I can listen into our conversation. The lady who started, taking phone calls, doing her thing secretly and all that. Suspiciously, I had to install cameras and recorders in our home and the two cars, as any of us have access to both family cars. So they have two cars. This brother, as anyone know waiting they go on, installed voice recorder and inside the car and cameras inside the home. One sad and unfortunate day, I overheard conversation between herself and another man. I knew it was a man because most times, especially when she is driving, the phone is connected to the Bluetooth of the car, or she uses the speaker of the phone. That's how the man got to know. That's how this man got to know that the wife is talking to a man, because it is, on the other hand, is a man that is talking. So they will be discussing their relationship and how the babies resemble him. The babies that she had, the two babies, resemble the man. She will arrange secret meetups with him and even travel to Dubai. That's when the cheating partner is in Dubai for an official meeting. Apparently, the cheating partner is a big boy in Nigeria, in one of the banks. I think he's a big boy in one of the banks in Nigeria. The cheating partner will go to Dubai for an official meeting. So the man will buy a ticket for her, to join him in Dubai. And she will claim it's work-related trips. When I confronted her, she dismissed my concerns, calling me paranoid. However, when I presented concrete evidences from my recordings, she became defensive and eventually called the UK police on me, citing a breach of her privacy and domestic violence. Typical of almost every, don't let me say all of them. It's typical of, most Nigerian ladies and, most of these African ladies that go to the UK, they call the police on their husbands. I don't say that's wrong. If it is for genuine reason, I think it's right. Yeah, you can call the police if you have been violated or domestically abused, which is it's well within your rights. The police listened and believed her story because she had already ran into the kitchen to inflict cuts on herself using the kitchen knife, before the police arrived, and because she was at that time 6 months pregnant. Woo! So this lady, because she called the police, she ran into the kitchen to do, to go and do some funny marks on herself so that the police would believe her story. And then she was heavily pregnant again for another child. I moved into, the police came and, moved the brother out. Then he moved into a friend's house who himself is divorced at that time. And I had to re-strategize and focus on continuing building my new life. So the brother had given up. That this is the life that he now has. Building my new life. It wasn't an easy period, but I had to manage and be a man. The loss of my family due to the betrayal of my wife, who is cheating, bothered me, but many a times to my friend. Sorry, let me read properly again. The loss of a family due to the betrayal of my wife, who is cheating, bothered me. But many times, my friend, who was a supportive pillar during my trying period and the period of my stay in his house, will console me and tell me that there are better days ahead. So this brother had a very supportive friend who was, helping him to weather the storm of his life. 3 months later, she gave birth to our third child, a baby girl. I got this information from a mutual friend whose wife equally works at the NHS as a radiologist. So this brother had a friend whose wife also works at the NHS as a radiologist and got wind that the wife had delivered. She immediately filed for divorce after she had weaned the new baby, and she was able to be out and about. I was home one day and a knock landed on my friend's door, only for me to open the door, and I found the court bailiff officially serving me with the court proceedings and decision, which was a notice to appear. So this brother was informed that the wife is filing divorce, and he thought it would never happen. Our divorce came final, and we started living in our different lives. I later understood that she is to be remarried in Nigeria. As hard as it was for me, I wished her well with her planned new life. But a year later, after she called the cops on me, as customary, my office where I worked conducted the regular background check to update individual staff files so that the organization is not having an enemy within or a person that could, affect the public reputation of the organization where he worked. So they had to do a background check. This is common with organizations. They do a yearly background check to see if your record are still clean or you've had any issues with your background, background check in the last 1 year, so that they will be able to know if they still can keep you or can lay you off. Some people within 1 year could have had DUI, that's driving under the influence, could have had domestic violence issues, a lot of issues that they could have had. The company needs to update themselves. It's what we could do in security management, or ensuring that the organization doesn't have a staff that could bring bad reputation to the organization. Sadly, the issue I had with my now ex-wife was already indicated in my background as a charge against me by my wife, stating domestic violence against spouse, which was not true. I was laid off my lucrative job, and I was laid off my lucrative job, and I became depressed as I became financially deflated by this accusation that would never leave or be erased from my background records. Ooh. That's one thing that no man should ever have. Please, any man who is going through abuse, stay off having records. Stay off having, all those domestic abuse records. It will destroy you. Don't let it destroy you, please. Just stay off your woman. Just stay off. Walk away. Don't try and have records. This brother now, his life is let me say the other thing. Few years later, after she was remarried and moved on with life, and I had equally moved on and enjoying my single life, this never stopped me from being a good father to my children. But one day, as God will have it, during a medical emergency involving our first child, they requested his father to attend to the needed blood transfusion. She came for my help, and I was present for this need, as of course the boy is my son, but unfortunately he was not my son. All the while, it was discovered that my blood didn't match that of this boy, revealing that I wasn't his biological father. Sadly, their son had an issue that required blood transfusion, and they required that the father be present to donate blood. But unfortunately, the son is not his. My ex-wife eventually admitted that none of the 3 children were mine. Woo! The father of all the children was our boss, who she was having a secret affairs with during her banking days in Nigeria. So apparently, she was dating someone in our office. That's our boss in the banking industry in Nigeria. And this is typical. This is normal in Nigeria, where most of these bank ladies are dating their bosses. If they're not dating their bosses, they're dating their customer just to meet, because they want to climb the career ladder. They are, doing things to get up there. She confessed that she was already pregnant. She confessed that she was already pregnant with her first child when she moved to the UK after our traditional marriage, the night before our wedding. After their traditional marriage, the night before their wedding, she had spent time with her lover, but she had set up an alibi that she was having a bachelorette outing with friends. Whew. You know, this last night, this last party that men and women have before their day of wedding, she staged that with friends and she went to stay with her lover. This revelation devastated me. I later realized how deeply I have been betrayed, emotionally and otherwise, because I simply rekindled a love affair that had been divinely separated when we both went for our National Youth Service Corps in Nigeria. So what he's saying here is that he was the one that caused it himself. He rekindled a relationship that had been lost for over 5 years. Apparently, somebody that you have lost, that you have not been with for over 5 years, the person definitely will have changed. You would definitely not know this. The person will not be the same person anymore. You know, today, as at the time of this story, she's late. Unfortunately, she passed. Her new husband that she married, she married another man. The new man that she married by her actually killed her 2 years after their marriage. The ex-husband she married to after her breakup could not stomach her consistent cheating. So she kept cheating even when she remarried. The new man that she remarried could not take it again because she kept cheating with the same boss, and he accidentally pushed her to the wall. So it wasn't that even the new husband wanted to buy her or kill her. He just, in the process of arguing, pushed her to the wall. She hit her head really hard and passed out from the severe trauma to the brain and the skull. Wow. It is well. The ex-husband whom she remarried is currently in jail here in the UK. My so-called children are with the UK government and are being cared for by God knows who. The process of adoption probably will have splitted the children to God knows who. These children could not be returned to their real father, that's the boss in Nigeria, simply because after I conducted an underground or background check of her lover, it was revealed he is one of the executive directors. He's the executive directors of one of Nigeria's most prominent bank back then in the 90s. The man is married and cannot even mention having an affair to his wife. Imagine. He could not tell, that's the executive director, cannot even tell his wife that he has affairs and he has an affair and he has children out there. Talk less of informing her that the affair resulted into children. A further dive into the secret affair and the lover, I found out that the bank ED was planning to marry my late ex-wife as his real wife. Marry the late ex-wife as the ED's wife does not have any child for him. So apparently the bank executive director, the wife does not have children. So he was planning to marry her to ensure that because those children were his. He was planning to marry my late ex-wife as his real wife could not have any child for him. Hence why he ensured that she has all three for him. Wow. After I lost my job, all I could do was a minimum wage job where all that is available to me. After I lost my job, all I could do was a minimum wage job because that was all that was available to him because of the noose hanging around my neck. That is the domestic violence accusation that was on his background check. After a few months later, someone in our church called me aside and asked if I can work at the railway network, as they are recruiting at the network rail. I had no choice but to apply, and I was accepted. This was where I ended my career and now live on pension. Reflecting on this experience, I want to share an important lesson. Some men suffer abuse too in marriages, and it is crucial to choose a life partner wisely. When reconnecting with someone from your past, please, this is a lesson. When reconnecting with someone from your past, remember they might no longer be the person you once knew. Take the time to truly know them again before committing. This is the story of our man. And it is fact. The man just assumed that the woman that he used to date back in the university is still the same man, is the same woman. Unfortunately, no, it's not the same. It's not the same woman. It's a different woman. Now, the woman had destroyed his life. The woman had destroyed his career. He's 62 years old, doesn't have a child of his own. When I read the story, I was like, no, I need to bring this out. He's 62. I don't think he's probably planning to, have children again, because time has gone for him. Well, time has not gone for him really, actually. If you meet a very good woman, you can still raise children, at least raise till 18. That would be like, he will be 80 by the time he's, but will he raise children on pension? That's another thing. So, and then he doesn't have a good job anymore. He cannot just do more than minimum wage job or all these hot jobs, But he has retired, actually. But please, this is a lesson to all of us, both men and women. Check. Don't just rekindle your old love or old flame. Check them properly. People you know in the past they change. People change. Those that you've known in the past could never be the same again. Try and know them. Try and find out about their life and what they have been doing with their lives. This is the lesson from this story. Thank you. Until I come again, please like, share, subscribe. Bring your story as well. You can send your story. The email is in the description of this video. Bring your story so that the world can hear. I have a lorry load of stories. I have dedicated a particular day to always draft this story, but plan for a time to release them. I will ensure that over time I'll be releasing them at least every day. I'll try and release a story every day, so that you can learn from people's story. However short they are, some came very short, I will still keep releasing those stories. Thank you very much. Take care and have a good one.